AviationPros.com is the portal website for AMT, Airport Business, and Ground Support Worldwide magazines. Visit daily for breaking news, industry blogs, and insightful articles from our magazine's editorial team. And don't forget to sign up for our publication's daily e-newsletters. It's all at AviationPros.com.
Hello and welcome to the Aviation Pros podcast. I'm Christina Marsh, editor of Airport Business. Edmonton Airports appointed Myron Keehn as its new CEO effective January 1st, 2023, following the retirement of Tom Ruth. Keehn sat down with me to talk about his goals for the future of Edmonton Airports. Myron, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
You've recently been appointed CEO of Edmonton Airports. Tell us a bit about yourself and how you got to where you are now.
Sure, I really appreciate that. I'm proud to be the leader of an organization, the airport in Edmonton, and we also have Villeneuve Airport. I've been blessed in my career to work in various fields, including real estate and in various airports within Canada, the Caribbean, U.S., and internationally, South America, etc. And I think my success in my career to get me where I am today is the fact that I've been able to work with people from all different walks of life and build great teams. Have inherited great teams and built great teams of people to achieve outcome. And so in Edmonton, I'm really excited about the opportunity with the team that's been built here to drive the airport forward and develop what we call the Airport City Sustainability Campus.
Wonderful. Can you tell us what your goals are as the new CEO?
Sure, absolutely. There are, I'll call it 5 key areas that we're focused on, and I'm not ranking them in any particular order as far as order of importance, but underlying everything we do is about our people. And it's not just the people of the airport authority that we have in our team, but it's about the teams that make up the ecosystem of the airport. And it's so vitally important to have a very highly functioning ecosystem to ensure passenger and cargo flights arrive and depart and business grows in our region. Our board holds us accountable for driving regional economic prosperity. Of course, safety and security is our top priority, but after that, it's how do we drive economic development and prosperity in a sustainable way? So there are 5 key objectives that we are working on. One is related to our passenger and our guest experience. How do we create the most seamless, transparent passenger journey through our facilities? And that could be, the journey could be a person or a box for cargo, traveling from a business through the airport to where its final destination is, and vice versa the other direction. So really that focus on passenger experience and the whole journey is something that we're really focusing on going forward. The second area of the high focus for us, of course, is ESG and sustainability, and really focusing on how do we as an organization differentiate and set ourselves apart and help our ecosystem partners, that includes airlines, ground handlers, concessions operators, real estate developers and companies, to green their operations. We've set targets for our organization to be net zero by 2040. And in that regard, we signed on as the first airport in the world, was part of the Amazon Climate Pledge, that we are working collaboratively to learn from businesses all over the world how and what we can do from an environmental perspective to minimize our impact on the world. We're also really focused on the social and the governance side to ensure, are we involving the right people? Are we providing opportunities? And for us, we're building what we call an airport for everyone, where everyone feels welcome, everyone is included, and respecting those that came before us from our Indigenous communities, those that are coming today, as we're a melting pot for many cultures arriving in our community, and having diversity across our entire portfolio at the airport. So that's also very, very important from that perspective. And governance, giving equal opportunity, is really, really important. I think the other components for us that we are speaking about is we are driving and developing what we believe will be one of the greenest logistics parks in North America on our airport. The development received funding, a grant funding application last year from the federal government of $100 million as part of a larger $300+ million development. and that's developing and building out what we call our international cargo hub. Globally, while cargo volumes have declined, our cargo volumes have increased. We've had 3 successive years of cargo volume increases, even though last year cargo volumes were down across the globe. So really focusing on our geographic locational advantage between Asia and North America, and Europe and the Middle East and North America, West Coast, to drive connectivity here, not just by air, but by rail, by seaport, full logistics supply chain opportunities. So another area that's really, really important for us. And then obviously for us as an airport, as we regrow, Canadian airports are recovering, but not necessarily at the same pace that the US airports are. And we're all getting close, some different than others. But it's how do we grow our air service and make it sustainable to connect? We're very blessed that our communities all came together to create a regional air services opportunity fund so that during COVID we could work with airlines when we recover. And I'm proud that our community came together, which shows to the airlines that our community is behind us, our business community is behind us, our government's behind us to drive air service. I'm proud to say that we have more destinations now in 2023 than we did prior to the pandemic in 2019. Maybe not the same frequencies, but more access to more places, which is important for business connectivity, for both the movement of people and goods to help our small and medium enterprises be able to actually produce goods and export those goods. So another key area that we're highly focused on is in that area.
That's great. Can you tell us a bit about what a day in the life of a CEO at Edmonton Airports looks like?
Sure. Well, this week was been an absolutely exciting week. So the Edmonton metropolitan region has developed Canada's first hydrogen hub, and we are the host of the Canadian Hydrogen Convention. And Edmonton Metro Region accounts for over 60% of all hydrogen produced in Canada today, but growing at a pace that is unparalleled globally. And so, and that's my suggestion. I'm sure people might be able to prove me wrong there, but what's happening here is pretty exciting. So we just finished the last 2 days, or today's the last day, of 8,000 people in attendance, North America's largest hydrogen conference, where some of the biggest companies in the world have made announcements on the world's largest hydrogen refueling station for vehicles on a net zero basis, 6 tons a day. There are multiple announcements on hydrogen, everything from polypropylene crackers to make plastic pellets, recyclable plastic pellets, to the world's first net zero concrete plant using hydrogen for production of concrete. And our Canadian government has a hydrogen roadmap. Our provincial government, the Alberta provincial government, has a hydrogen roadmap, and our airport, as part of our commitment to net zero and our commitments to decarbonize, have a hydrogen roadmap that include everything from automotive, so passenger vehicles, taxis, car rentals, to airside equipment, dual fuel technology using diesel and hydrogen, to then, in our case, even into hydrogen aircraft in a partnership with Zero Avia, which is located out of Hollister, California, and the UK. So we see hydrogen as a real key element, pun intended, to help us reach our decarbonization goals in our economy, in our region. And we do have electric as well, but hydrogen, we believe, is a bigger opportunity for our region based on our climate, and is something that's really exciting. So for me, the last couple of days have been about meeting with, we had, I think, 70 countries in Edmonton, 75 countries here, and representatives from all over the world and all these companies saying, how can we be involved? What are we doing? How can we do this? So our community is very cohesive and works collaboratively across many ecosystems, but really key partners with our municipalities, the Leduc County, City of Leduc, City of Edmonton, our economic development, our regional economic development entity, Edmonton Global, our tourism and hospitality organization, Explore Edmonton, our technology incubating organization called Edmonton Unlimited, our Chamber of Commerce downtown. It's pretty exciting to see these things come together. So for me, our region has a lot of these type of activities that are, people say, how does that really tie to an airport? but the airport can be the ecosystem to help bring the community together. In our case, this community's come together without us in this regard, but we are part of that. It wasn't because of the airport. We can just help the community reach its goals.
So, what made you want to be part of the aviation industry?
That's a great question. I think as for me, when I first got involved in the aviation industry, I didn't really understand how complicated it was or how exciting it was. And when my first taste into the aviation industry was in British Columbia in Vancouver, and I thought, why would people want to work in an airport? What does that really mean? And when you get it into you, it becomes uh, highly exciting because it's such a high paced, high change opportunity. I mean, the evolution that's occurred in aviation has been dramatic. Um, and so for me, what was exciting to me was the fact that it's a no 2 days are the same, and the airports play such a vital role and can play such a vital role in how the region develops. And what we view, what our executive, myself, and our board view our airport as is we want to be an enabler of economic growth. We don't want to be governor of economic growth. So what excited me is the impact you're having not only today and at the airport, but in the future as routes get established. We have examples in our region where companies went to um, export that never exported before because a certain route was developed to a certain location, and we could help them get access to market. Um, Help businesses here grow and import fish, for example, and be able to provide something that we don't normally have that same level of access to because of a flight coming in. So it's really about how do airports have such significant economic impact within the regions they serve, and how do we do that in a way that is that facilitates growth that matches what the region's goals are. So for me, when I got in, it was such an exciting opportunity because it's always growing, dynamic, and changing.
Well, Myron, that's all the time that we have today. But thank you so much for joining us. This was a truly great conversation. And congratulations again on your new position.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm really excited to have such a great team of folks as part of our ecosystem on my team at the airport, and really a great board of directors. I really appreciate your leadership and what you're doing to help educate folks around what the opportunities are in aviation, because it is a great industry. So my one call to action for folks, if you're not thinking about the aviation industry, it's one of the most exciting industries I've ever worked in, and it becomes highly addictive, for lack of a better term, to continue to want to be part of it. So thank you, and thank you to your listeners.
Thanks again for listening to today's podcast. Stay up to date on industry news, current issues, and information specifically for airports, airport operations, FBOs, and airport-based business by subscribing to Airport Business Daily Newsletter. And as always, please continue to visit AviationPros.com.